What's up guys, Josh from CaliforniaThroughMyLens.com. Today I'm going to show you 12 things to do in the Central Coast town of Cambria. Cambria is a small seaside town located on Pacific Coast Highway, which is almost exactly in the middle of a drive from Los Angeles to San Francisco. This town has all sorts of attractions ranging from great food and restaurants to hikes and beaches. Here are 12 of my favorite spots. My first recommendation in Cambria is the Moonstone Beach Boardwalk. Moonstone Beach is a famous spot in Cambria with dramatic coastline views, a 1-mile boardwalk, and a stunning sandy beach. You can drive along the connected road and see all of the hotels and restaurants on one side and the beach and the boardwalk on the other. I love coming here for sunset, and my favorite spot to take photos is at the north end near Leffingwell Landing. Be sure to check it out next time you're in the area. My second recommendation is Fiscalini Ranch Preserve. This is another great hike or walk in Cambria, and the Bluffs Trail at the Fiscalini Ranch Preserve is one of my favorites. It's a great open space area in the city that has lots of hiking opportunities and is fun for the whole family. I recommend going at sunset as the views are pretty incredible and the trail is easy to follow back to your car. There are lots of benches along the way, so be sure to just take your time and soak it all in. My third recommendation is Nitt Ridge. Known as the poor man's Hearst Castle, Nitt Ridge is a folk art landmark in the city of Cambria. Sitting on 2.5 acres, construction on the house began in 1928 and lasted for over 50 years. It is certainly unique, with building materials that include beer cans, car rims, and abalone shells. You can take a tour most days and it's a lot of fun to see, especially in comparison with the next recommendation, Hearst Castle. While technically in the town of San Simeon, Hearst Castle is close enough to Cambria to be on the list. Hearst Castle is a huge tourist attraction with many different tours that go all through the castle on the hill. I've been many times and I always enjoy going back and taking a different tour to see a different part of the house. My current favorite is the upstairs suites, but if you've never been, you definitely want to check out the Grand Rooms tour. Also, the Neptune pool is open again after a 5-year restoration project. It's worth going just to see that. Make sure you plan at least a half day to explore Hearst Castle. Recommendation number 5 is to see the elephant seals. After leaving Hearst Castle, be sure to drive 3 miles up the road to go to the Elephant Seal Overlook. This area has become a paradise for these large creatures, and depending on the time of year, you may see hundreds of them on the shore, including babies. While you can't get too close to them, there are lots of great viewpoints to watch them from on the small boardwalk. This is one of those things I've done dozens of times, and I still love going back every time I'm in Cambria. Recommendation number 6 is Piedras Blancas Light Station. Before heading back into downtown Cambria, consider stopping and visiting the Piedras Blancas Lighthouse. This lighthouse was first illuminated in 1875 and it continues to be used today. You can only access it via tour, but the tour was historical and interesting when we went, and it lets you see a lot of the 19-acre property and its amazing coastal views. Recommendation number 7 is to explore some of Cambria's wineries. After heading back to downtown Cambria, check out some of the unique wineries they have in the area. There are 2 wineries that produce most of their grapes in Cambria, Stolo and Cutruzzola, and you can visit the winery itself for Stolo and the tasting room in downtown Cambria for Cutruzzola. If you want to sample more wines, you can always walk around to some of the other downtown tasting rooms as well. Stop number 8 is to check out Stepladder Ranch and Creamery. If wine's not your thing, book a tour and head out to Stepladder Ranch to see a working goat ranch and creamery. When you're there, you get to see all of the goats they have and learn all about the goat cheese making process. Amy and I had a blast doing this, as it was fun to interact with the goats, learn about how they make the cheese, and then get to try some of the cheese at the end. It's a fun spot for the whole family, and it's especially great right after the goats are given birth so you can see the babies. Recommendation number 9 is to visit Linn's Farm Store. Linn's Farm Store is another fun family stop, and it's the ranch where the owners of the famous Linn's restaurant grew their first lolliberries. What? How do you pronounce it? Oliberry. No, that's wrong. Lolliberry. A lolliberry. There you go. On the property, there's a cute little farmhouse store with lots of food items you can purchase. Of course, the main reason to go is to get a slice of pie with some ice cream and to go sit on the picnic benches outside and enjoy it. They also have a few animals here with chickens and some goats to see, and we got lucky and saw a few baby goats here as well. For my last few recommendations, I want to talk about the food in Cambria, as that's one of the main reasons that people visit the city. I broke the recommendations down into my favorite spots for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. First up, for breakfast in Cambria, I like Creekside Cafe for their Monterey scramble and their down-to-earth vibe. If you're looking for something a little quicker though, then head over to Lily's, which is a coffee shop with breakfast and which has great breakfast burritos. For lunch, there are tons of awesome options as well. If you're looking to keep it cheap and quick, head to Boni's Tacos and try their awesome carne asada taco or their potato taquitos. Plus, they're close to Red Moose Cookie Company, which is a fun and popular spot to get a cookie for dessert. If you're looking for a sit-down lunch spot, then head to Linn's. Linn's is one of Cambria's most popular restaurants, and I recommend getting their famous chicken pot pie and a lullaberry pie for dessert. Linn's is also a great spot for dinner as well. Lastly, for dinner, I recommend heading over to Robin's. Robin's is one of my favorite places in Cambria with an eclectic menu of unique options, my favorite being the shrimp enchiladas. Alternatively, if you're looking for a nice sit-down place with hearty comfort food, then head over to Sal's-Gear. They're famous for their chicken fried steak, and I have to say it's pretty impressive. Thanks for exploring Cambria with us. Hopefully you found some new spots to check out next time you're in the area.
Click here to subscribe.
Or click here to see other videos.
We'll see you guys next week.